Hello, my name is Nina Cardinal, and I'm a COVID-19 survivor. I started with symptoms after my husband had had a meeting with a gentleman who had been recently in a conference in Miami, took a flight back here to Phoenix. My husband had had a 1-hour meeting with him, and then came home that night, and we both ended up with symptoms about 2 days later. Mine started with a low-grade fever. I ended up with body aches, coughing, just terrible all over exhaustion that seemed to last. Then suddenly we lost our sense of taste and smell. It was still pretty early here in Phoenix, and they didn't know about the loss of taste and smell being kind of a trigger of a symptom. I'm actually a nurse at a local hospital, and I retired in January to stay home with my daughter full time. So I still had access to a friend who had testing because at that point it wasn't widely available. Called her up and she said, absolutely, come on down. I was positive nasal swab. I got the results the next day as she submitted my information as a healthcare provider. So it was nice to know right away that I had it and to confirm what we had suspected. My husband and I kind of thought, well, maybe we just have, a flu, but it really was COVID. My husband never got a physical test done, but because we hadn't quarantined from each other or from our toddler daughter. His was a much milder case. My daughter never had any symptoms. It is currently July of 2020, and I have tested positive for antibodies still as of the beginning of July. My last date of symptom was March 28th. I have donated my plasma for the first time. I hope that it helps anybody go through this. I had a much more severe case, coughing, body aches, just exhaustion, and it was really tough because you can't rely on anybody else to help take care of your kid when you're sick. Couldn't call over the grandparents. Fortunately, we were locked down and isolated from absolutely everybody. So we did not, as far as we're aware, spread it to anybody else. We still wear masks out of solidarity, but having a little bit of immunity after having it does make you feel less anxious about, picking up your groceries and that kind of thing. But, it's hard. We're going to send our daughter back to school because we feel that she is, safer than most. She's still going to wear a mask and that kind of thing, but she's only 3.5. So it's a preschool program. She should be safe, or at least safer. But it's been a whirlwind, and at no point did we ever consider it not a threat and not a problem. We've had too many experiences where people have, said that it's a hoax, and then they get sick, and then they're like, oh, gee, I thought it was a hoax, but it sure wasn't. And, we have unfortunately, a government here in our state of Arizona that hasn't been as strict as maybe we would have liked to have seen it. Because we were such early cases, only 0.025% of the population had it. So we were early cases, and now there's, we opened up what we see as too soon, and the cases just skyrocketed. So we're really in the middle of a terrible pandemic. I know that our ICU beds as of yesterday were 91% capacity, so here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. So it's hard as a nurse to watch that kind of thing happening. The PPE is still a problem. We still pick up groceries. We wear masks everywhere. I feel like it's a really important thing to remember to protect others, even if you feel like you shouldn't be wearing or you don't need to wear a mask. Like, technically, I feel like I have some immunity, but because we're all in this together, to show our solidarity, we all wear masks, even my toddler daughter. So, this is our new normal. This is what we have to get through and figure out what normal is going to look like out on the other side when this is mostly, herd immunity, or if we, hopefully find a vaccine that will work and that will keep people safe. Good luck, everybody.